As long as you are responsive, you communicate well, and you check in with the team and get the answer that you need, and then do what you say you're going to do to get back to them, we're going to have a really good business, and people are going to be happy.
That earlier part, it was definitely communication was what I had like the biggest issue with. And the reason, not communication in the sense that information wasn't provided clearly, it was the time. Because, at that point, everything is, I would send a Ring Central message. Remember, at the time, I dealt with tenants directly. So I felt that pressure of whenever a tenant calls in, I needed to have the answer right away. Right? So it wasn't at that first stage, it wasn't clear that you don't need to have the answer right now.
Right.
Later on, we got to that stage, right? Yeah. So the pressure was really there, and I used to get very overwhelmed with it because I would send a message, and then now that I'm here, I can see it, like I understand it. People are around, they're on calls, so it's not that you send a message and they're just there looking at it. I'm not going to answer that right now. It's nothing like that. We might feel like, oh my gosh, why? I sent this message about 10 minutes ago. It feels like an hour on our end, right? But that was like the most difficult part, the communication part. And so now it's far way easier. It's far way better. So I know for a fact the other remote workers, they definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, that was like a groundbreaking thing when we identified that as a problem where like, I don't even remember exactly. It might have been from your feedback or something, but it was years ago. We identified that there was a common misconception that we had to have the answer for everything when the question was asked.
Correct.
And that's what other people expect. Like, that's what our callers expect. But realistically, and that leads us to some really awkward conversations where we're either trying to force an answer, we're trying to come up with an answer that we're not prepared to give yet, or people are just really upset with us for not having answers, and then we feel terrible about it, like we're just failing. But the thing is like, I think what people don't understand is, well, not that people should have a responsibility to understand this, but you could get a call from a tenant that says, hey, does my property and lease, I want to get a cat. Does my property and lease allow a cat? And then you could, work through the lease and, talk to that person, help them get an answer. And then the next person calls and says, I want to break my lease. I hate everything, blah, blah, blah. Or I have a terminal illness, or I just got relocated to California, or I get this. And then the next person calls and they're an owner and they want to know about this $200 charge on a state. And it was just like, it is so, there are thousands of things literally that people could call about. And the second we started training our team to say, you don't need to know the answer. You don't need to know. And even more so, like the calls were, will you accept a credit score of 682 with an income of, something like that. And the next person would call, hey, I have a cat with 3 legs, and then I have a mom that, has, whatever. And it's just like, it is all over the place. Anything you could imagine in human existence that people deal with in life, we're getting those calls. And people are asking if it's acceptable, if it's allowed, if the lease supports it, if it doesn't. And it's and it could happen back to back, tens or 100 calls a day, depending on the size of the company, whatever. But the idea is like, one person can call us and say, you guys are the first property management company that I've ever dealt with that cares. And it could just be this awesome conversation. And the next call could be like, you are scum of the earth. Everything, and no matter what the scenario is. And so it's very difficult. And I think that we realized once we started training our team from day one that they didn't need to have the answer. What they needed to do was answer the phone. What they needed to do is be responsive and answer the emails and say, hey, I got your email. I'm on top of it. I don't have an answer for you right now, but this is when I'll be able to get back by the end of the day, or something like that. And so once we established that, I think it relieved the pressure from the team. It was like a literally like a pressure relief valve of being like, you have all of these inquiries coming in, And it's okay if you're not immediately find an answer if you can. But if you can't, get all the information and then set expectations of when they can hear back from you, when they should expect to hear back from you, and then do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
And then if we just do that, and as long as we get back to them in a reasonable amount of time, like again, end of the day, end of the next day, or end of the week, depending on what the situation is, how many other people we need to call, what research we need to do, that's the key. And so the second we took pressure off of everyone is, hey, you can answer the phones next week. And you don't even need to know how to spell property management.
Yeah.
As long as you are responsive, you communicate well, and you check in with the team and get the answer that you need, and then do what you say you're going to do to get back to them, we're going to have a really good business, and people are going to be happy. I think we figured that out with your help.